I stand before you today with a heavy yet resolute heart. Recent events compel me to address not only the accusations that have been hurled against me personally, but also the attacks on the institution we hold sacred, the House of Representatives, the heart of our democracy and the voice of the Filipino people. Let me begin with a matter that is both alarming and unprecedented. The Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines, Sara Duterte, admitted to contacting an assassin to kill President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, and myself. Let me be clear. Hindi na to biro. Hindi na to normal na panalita. Isa itong direktang banta sa ating demokrasya, sa ating pamahalaan, at sa seguridad ng bayan. Such statement is not just reckless, it is dangerous. It sends a chilling message to our people, a message that violence can be contemplated by those in positions of power. This is not just an affront to the individuals targeted, it is attack on the very foundation of our government. It is an insult to every Filipino who believes in the rule of law and the sanctity of life. Violence has no place in our society. It is irreconcilable with the values that have taught and guided us for years. Values of respect and amicable, peaceful conflict resolution. We cannot let this pass as mere rhetoric. The gravity of such confession demands accountability. It demands answers. It demands that we, as the representatives of the Filipino people, take a stand to protect our democracy from any and all forms of threats. The actions of the Vice President will go down in the annals of history like a nightmare that will haunt our people for generations. And this House will do whatever we can to protect the dignity of this institution and the 100 million Filipinos we represent. Now, let us address another serious matter. The Vice President's unfounded and baseless accusations that I am plotting to destroy her because of alleged political ambitions for 2028 elections. My colleagues, these accusations are not only untrue, they are a desperate attempt to distract from the real issues at hand. Malinaw ang katotohanan. Ang trabaho ko bilang speaker ay maglingkod, hindi manira. Ang politika na paninira ay hindi kailanman naging bahagi ng aking prinsipyo. My focus has always been on fulfilling my responsibilities as Speaker of the House, leading with utmost integrity, untarnished by division and self-interest, and guided by the principle that every action and decision I take must always be for the benefit of the Filipino people. These unfounded accusations are not just about me. They are an affront to the House of Representatives. They are an attempt to erode public trust in this institution, to sow division, and to create chaos. We choose unity over division, dialogue over conflict, and cooperation over confrontation. Why these baseless accusations? The answer is simple: to divert attention from the mounting evidence of fund misuse under her leadership at the Office of the Vice President and Department of Education. The issues surrounding confidential and intelligence funds, the questionable disbursements, and the lack of transparency demand answers. We will not tolerate and accept vague explanations and evasive responses. Kung wala kang itinatago, bakit hindi sagutin ang mga tanong? karapatan ng taumbayan na malaman ang katotohanan. Accountability is not optional. Transparency is not negotiable. Those entrusted with public funds must be prepared to explain where it was disbursed and how these resources were utilized. Hindi ito personal. Ito ay usapin ng pananagutan at tiwala ng taumbayan. Instead of providing clarity, we have seen attempts to shift the narrative, to create distractions, and to fabricate stories. But let me remind everyone that truth is resilient. No amount of noise can drown it. This House of the People is a sacred institution. It is the embodiment of the people's will, and its dignity must be upheld at all times. Ang Kongreso ay sagrado. Ang mga patakaran at seguridad dito ay hindi nilalabag. Ang paglabag sa mga ito ay kawalang galang sa taumbayan ng ating pinaglilingkuran. Disrespect for the protocols, security measures, and leadership of this institution is not just a breach of rules, it is a breach of trust. To mock our protocols, to defy our orders, and to malign our leaders is to disrespect the Filipino people who elected us to serve. This House operates on the principles of the rule of law, transparency, and accountability. These principles are the bedrock of our democracy. To undermine them is to weaken the foundation upon which our nation stands. My colleagues, I call on you to stand with me in defending this institution. Ipaglaban natin ang dignidad ng Kongreso. Ipaglaban natin ang katotohanan. Ipaglaban natin ang ating demokrasya. This is not about personal interests. It is about preserving the integrity of the House of Representatives and ensuring that it remains strong and a credible voice for the Filipino people. To the Filipino people, I assure you that this House will not waver in its commitment to transparency, accountability, and service. We should not allow individuals to ruin this great nation with their manipulative tactics, their troll armies, or their few blind followers. We owe it to the Filipino people to remain steadfast in our mission to pass laws that improve lives, protect freedoms, and ensure a brighter future for all. Finally, I reaffirm my unwavering support for President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and his administration. Together, we will continue to advance the reforms and policies that will lead us to economic recovery, national security, and a more equitable society. Ang laban na ito ay hindi tungkol sa akin, hindi tungkol sa inyo, kundi para sa ating bayan at sa kinabukasan ng bawat Pilipino. Let us rise above the distractions. Let us reject baseless accusations. Let us focus on what truly matters, serving the people and strengthening the institutions that uphold our democracy. Let us stay focused, steadfast, and committed to the great job we are doing. It is indeed my honor and privilege fighting this battle with and for all of you. Thank you, and may God bless the Philippines. Mabuhay ang Kongreso! Mabuhay ang sambayang Pilipino!
In this August chamber to sponsor and support House Resolution number 2092, expressing the unwavering and unqualified support and solidarity of the House of Representatives to the leadership of His Excellency President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and the Honorable Speaker Ferdinand Martin Gomez Romualdez. In the face of serious and dangerous remarks and defiant acts that threaten the very foundation of democratic governance, rule of law, public trust, and integrity of government institutions. The importance of this resolution cannot be overstated. As members of this honorable and highly esteemed institution, it is our responsibility to uphold the dignity, honor, and integrity of the House of Representatives. In doing so, we must also express our collective solidarity with our leaders who stand at the forefront of defending our democratic institutions and the rule of law. Recent events have brought to light conduct and statements that not only threaten the dignity of this chamber, but also compromise national security and public trust in our government, Mr. Speaker. These include actions that defy protocols, undermine accountability, and most alarmingly, the threats to the very lives of our leader, His Excellency President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., the First Lady, Mrs. Liza Araneta Marcos, and our beloved Speaker Ferdinand Martin Gomez Romualdez. Speaker Romualdez has displayed exemplary leadership and unwavering resolve in defending this institution against those who seek to weaken it. His swift and decisive response to these serious threats is a testament to his commitment to upholding the principles of democratic governance and the rule of law. Under the leadership of Speaker Romualdez, this chamber has demonstrated unity, dynamism, and effectiveness in performing its mandate. We have passed crucial legislations that support the priorities of the administration and address the needs of our constituents. These successes show that with a stalwart leader like Speaker Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez, this institution can withstand any obstacle and remain a pillar of democracy. Moreover, the leadership of President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. continues to guide our nation toward progress and stability. His vision for a strong and united Philippines is evident in the administration achievements. It is our duties as legislators to rally behind our President in defending the interests of the Filipino people and safeguarding the future of our democratic institution. Mr. Speaker, in this spirit, I call upon each and every one of you, my esteemed colleagues, to support the immediate adoption of House Resolution number 2092, to support the immediate adoption of House Resolution number 2092. Let us show the nation that we stand united behind our leadership and in defense of the sacred principles of democracy, accountability, and the rule of law. Dakal pong salamat. Mabuhay si Presidente Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. Mabuhay si Speaker Ferdinand Gomez Romualdez. Mabuhay ang mababang kabulungan. At maraming salamat po, Luidia, ing Pilipinas. Dakal pong salamat. Maya pagkat panapon po kay kayuman.
Mabuhay, Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Dong D. Gonzales. Maraming salamat, sir. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Majority Leader, Manuel Jose Manix M. Dalipe, to deliver his sponsorship speech.
to our Majority Leader, Manuel Jose Manex M. Dalipe. Please proceed, sir.
Honorable Speaker, esteemed members of the House, good afternoon. I rise today to express my unwavering support for the House of Representatives and our Speaker, the Honorable Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez, in the light of the recent events faced by our institution. The House of Representatives stands as a cornerstone of this nation's democracy. As we carry out our mandate and stand to uphold the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, we operate on established rules and procedures to ensure transparency, accountability, and order within our walls and beyond. Over the past few days, we witnessed the blatant disregard for these rules and protocols by no less than the second highest official of the land. I take this opportunity to reiterate that this august chamber must be accorded the honor and dignity befitting its status as the House of the People. To disrespect this chamber is to disrespect the people we represent. No public official, regardless of rank, position, should consider itself above and beyond the 100 million strong Filipino people by obstructing the lawful proceedings and orders of the House. The wanton breach of protocol, the use of vindictive language, and the threat of harm aimed at the leaders of our country show a deep and encompassing disrespect for the rule of law and democratic institutions that we have sworn to protect. Mr. Speaker, I believe we can do better. We must remember that our actions set the tone of public governance in this country. I applaud President Marcos and Speaker Romualdez for their patience, restraint, and ability to rise above the fray by blocking out the external noise and focusing on the work that needs to be done. I urge all of us to follow their example. Let us continue to do our work, no matter the obstacles put in our path, and remember that it is in our collective strength that we have achieved all our legislative goals and more. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang ating mahal na Pangulo, Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Mabuhay ang ating House Speaker, Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
Mabuhay ka. Maraming salamat, Majority Leader Manuel Jose Manex M. Dalipe. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize Deputy Speaker David J.J.C. Suarez for his manifestation.
Deputy Speaker in the Province of Quezon, Congressperson J. Suarez. You're recognized, sir. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise today in utter disbelief and righteous indignation over the Vice President of the Republic, Sara Duterte, admitting that she has contacted an assassin to kill none other than President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, and our beloved Speaker, Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez. Mr. Speaker, this is no trivial matter. This is not an offhand remark that can be swept under the rug. This is an admission by the second highest official in the land of a premeditated intent to harm the highest leaders of our government. This is a direct attack on the presidency, on this House, and on the very foundations of our democracy. Let us call this what it is: treachery in the highest order. It is a betrayal not just of the President and this institution, but of every single Filipino who entrusted her with power. How can someone sworn to uphold the Constitution and protect the people conspire to commit such an act of unthinkable violence? How can the Vice President, who is expected to be a unifying figure, admit to plotting an act that could destabilize the entire nation? Mr. Speaker, let us not be deceived by any attempts to downplay or justify this admission. This is not about personal grievances or political rivalry. This is a threat to our national security, our democratic processes, and the rule of law. For the Vice President to even contemplate such actions is a gross abuse of power and betrayal of the office she holds. Mr. Speaker, we must act, and we must act now. How can the Filipino people trust a leader admits to contracting an assassin? How can we continue to allow someone of such dangerous tendencies to occupy one of the highest positions in the land? This is not a question of leadership. It is a question of morality, of accountability, and the survival of our democracy. The House must take immediate action. We cannot simply express our outrage and move on. We must call for a full investigation into the Vice President's admissions, not just for the sake of justice, but to protect the integrity of our institutions and to ensure the safety of our leaders. Mr. Speaker, the behavior cannot just be tolerated. This is not about politics. This is about the survival of our democracy and the safety of our people. We demand answers. We demand accountability. And we demand that the Vice President face the full force of the law for her actions. Let this House stand united in defense of our democracy, our leaders, our people. We cannot and will not allow anyone, even the Vice President, threaten the very foundation of this republic. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat. Deputy Speaker, David J.J. Suarez. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that you recognize the Honorable Albert S. Garcia of the 2nd District of Bataan for his manifestation.
The gentleman from the 2nd District of Bataan, Representative Albert S. Garcia, is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise today with a deep sense of indignation and disbelief over the shocking admission made by Vice President Sara Duterte that she had contacted an assassin to target none other than His Excellency President R. Marcos Jr., First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, and our esteemed Speaker, Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez. Let us pause for a moment, Mr. Speaker, to reflect on the gravity of this revelation. The second highest official of the land, someone who took an oath to protect and uphold the Constitution, has admitted to contemplating violence. Violence against the very people she sworn to serve alongside. This is not just alarming, it is a betrayal of public trust and an affront to our democratic values and a threat to the stability of our nation. Mr. Speaker, how can we as representatives of the Filipino people stand silent in the face of such a heinous admission? The Vice President's statement are not only a direct threat to the lives of our leaders, but a dangerous precedent that undermines the very foundation of our democratic governance. If someone in her position feels emboldened to admit to such acts, what message does this send to the public? That power can be wielded without accountability? That the rule of law can be disregarded with impunity? Mr. Speaker, this House has a solemn duty to ensure that no one, no matter how high his or her position, stands above the law. The Vice President's action demand not just condemnation, but thorough investigation. This is not just about politics. This is about justice, accountability, and the preservation of our nation's dignity. Let me be clear, there is no place in our government, in our democracy, for such reckless and dangerous behavior. The office of the Vice President should embody integrity and leadership, not serve as a platform for threats and violence. The Filipino people deserve better, Mr. Speaker. They deserve leaders who inspire trust,